it takes that right away from you to decide, but it also takes that ability to discern away. And so people become more susceptible to charlatans. There were umpteen AIDS cures out there. People were flocking to Mexico to drink this and to take that and to have the blood boiled and to all of these things. Some of them proved fatal. You know, some of them may have been successful, but we don't know because there weren't enough studies done. They were shut down. So I think it's a short-term problem. I don't mean the AIDS epidemic is short-term, but a particular circumstance. The cut on your hand is short-term, but the government's answer to it is a long-term thing, not just for me, but for generations to come. And I think that's a major reason why I'm a libertarian. It's because I want to be personally responsible. I want the personal liberty, and I want others to have it today and certainly in the future. And the way the two-party system is it's just, it's like a ping pong game back and forth between two very good players, and they play one another, play against one another, and the audience is sitting there saying, wow, this is a very exciting ping pong game, and they're getting lulled into accepting whatever is told them. Right. This is what you will do. This is how you will do it.
That's a good analogy, because I see that too with like just the gay community. Not being gay, I still look at that issue, and I see it as the gay community as being kind of this ping pong ball that's being like pandered to on one side and then scapegoated on the other. It's the Republicans seem to be using you in one way, and the Democrats seem to be using the gay community in another way. Does that seem like a true or an accurate observation to you?
I think that's very true. I think the right, and particularly the religious right, uses fear of homosexuality as an icky thing, that it is as if it's contagious, as if exposure to a homosexual is going to turn, Susie or Johnny into a flaming queen.
Well, I remember Bob Dornan actually said that homosexuals had developed the ability to emit spores. An elected congressman from Orange County.
Right.
No,
people voted for this man.
Yeah, Bob Dornan. Thank you, Bomber Bob. Whatever.
Right, B1 Bob.
B1 Bob.
B1 Bob.
That's brilliant, B1 Bob. Yeah.
And it's not only a scare technique to get votes, but it raises tremendous amounts of money. I mean, people naturally want to protect their children. I can understand that. My parents wanted to protect me, but this isn't the way to do it. But they send out these letters. We're fighting right now with they have domestic partner in California, and as soon as it gets signed, thereafter to get rid of it. And this isn't anything special. It's less than what married people have. It's not special gay rights. It's less than heterosexual rights.
It's like saying black kids got to go to a special school.
Right. And we're one supposed to be happy about
special Brown versus Board of Education school.
And we're supposed to be happy about that from the Democratic side, and we're supposed to run for cover from the Republican side.
Well, if I could, I'd like to say, in all fairness to the Democrats, I mean, I do think that there are people, I think that John Kerry and Howard Dean and a lot of the mainstream Democratic nominees right now are purposely exploiting, the gay vote and gay money, and basically just try. Howard Dean, what put him on the map politically initially was signing Vermont's civil unions bill into existence, and the Human Rights Campaign loves him, and a lot of the sort of establishment gay Democrats love him. But the fact is, at the time he signed the civil unions bill, the Vermont Supreme Court had said you have to either do a separate but equal marriage or you have to do marriage. So Dean said, he said, people are never going to accept gay marriage, I'm just going to go for civil unions. Where I think politically he was in a place where he could have just gone full throttle and just said marriage. I mean, he could have. I mean, he had a really narrow set of choices, and if he chose the one that was just meant real equality, and real respect, he wouldn't have expended that much more political capital. You know, that would have been fine for him as governor of Vermont. Now, future president of the United States may have been more problematic for him. But that having been said, I think that a lot of people who are registered Democrats, not part of some sort of machine or some sort of interest group, do generally sincerely feel in their hearts that they want just full-fledged, you know, either gay marriage or, you know, privatization of marriage probably doesn't sell very well. It doesn't make sense. But, you know, they just want it. They just want things to be the same. And I think that, you know, we definitely do have to, you know, to respect the sort of on the ground, just registered Democrats, people who are in, you know, I mean, the gay community, you know, no matter where you are politically, you have to recognize that they are doing the most.
Yeah.
And
Democrats,
I mean,
definitely
libertarians would do it if we could.
Yes,
right.
but
Would do more.
But the Democrats are trying.
We keep the pressure on both groups, and that's what's important. Who else is going to say this stuff? I mean, for me, if you don't like that your church performs gay marriages, then go to one that leave that church. You know, go to one that doesn't. If you want a church that performs gay marriages, go to that one that does. But the government should not at any point decide we approve of this marriage, not this marriage, because if they do that, they're regulating a church. They're discriminating between one church, one religion, one interpretation of a religion from another. And the government also should not be performing or being involved with marriages, because the government should not be imitating the church or performing religious ceremonies. What we need to do here is separate marriage and state. One of the problems is that we have this unconstitutional thing where the government is performing marriages in the first place, or having anything to do with it, or making laws respecting that someone is married, which is against the Constitution. So basically, the Founding Fathers had a lot of brilliant ideas in that document. You know, they knew, and whenever we get into trouble, it's because we're not obeying it in the first place. That's how we get into these controversies about marriage. If you've made a law regarding marriage, you've made a law about a religion or about a religious ceremony. And it's just not right, you know. And George Bush or Al Gore shouldn't be deciding which church's ceremonies they're going to respect. And the fact is, we have this whole structure now based on laws on marriage. That's why we're having so much trouble changing it. We shouldn't have been doing that in the first place, because it's not constitutional. And we could probably go on about gay marriage and do a whole show. We'll probably try to touch upon it in the next show. But what would you say, both of you say, we're coming near the end of the show, to other people that are gay, open, out or not, that are open about it or not? Some people, of course, are not and decide to not talk about it. But, we have 1 minute left, so real quick.
Go ahead.
I would say for those that aren't out, it's probably more important to look at the Libertarian Party, because they will carry their banner without them having to be out. Whereas if you're a Democrat and you know, you're out or not out, you're going to be outed. And if you're a Republican, they're going to parade you as one of their tokens. So if you're in the closet, I can't think of a better place to be than the Libertarian Party, to protect your anonymity but still have your issues fought for, still have your rights fought for.
Well, thank you both for coming out. If anyone else out there would like any more information about the Libertarian Party, please go to lp.org. That's where you can find us on the web, or you can call us at 1-800-ELECT-US if you're one of the few people left out there that don't have a computer. We still want you. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.